Jewel. Down on the inside is Wicked Hunter, travelling third from the Gospel Sin in a strung outfield. A length and a half away then is Serious Prospect, and then knuckle down Rotana Beach, Queen of Teas in the middle, Zafiro. Around them now goes the filly, pushed very wide on the corner, Regal Moon, and trailed by Card Night Dayton. 12 rounds by the 250, the leader. A length and a half, Wicked Hunter getting around his heels, followed by the Gospel Sin. Regal Moon down the outside, 12 rounds nearing the 100 from Wicked Hunter. Regal Moon is starting to charge. 12 rounds, Wicked Hunter, Regal Moon, but Wicked Hunter hit the lead in the shadows and Wicked Hunter got home. Wicked Hunter won from either the fast finishing Regal Moon or 12 rounds. Rotana beat Zafiro right there on their heels from the Gospel Sin, and then Dayton deeper out from last. A good run, Dusha Zachitsky from knuckle down. Serious Prospect, followed further back Al Malayo. Then Putri Jewel, who we can ride out of it. Queen of Teas beat about one home, and that was Imperious, who was last from the get-go. 6, the winner, Wicked Hunter. Appreciating a drop in class. Steve Parnham aboard and is back into the winners list today after a 424-day run of outs. 6, Wicked Hunter, Regal Moon getting really industrious in the last little bit and was closing in on those leaders. As we wait for the placings, 12 rounds, clinging on desperately after leading for home. Wicked Hunter, though, has proven just a little too good. Got the lovely run, was able to manoeuvre outside the heels of 12 rounds at the 150. Regal Moon doing her absolute best late in the race. And right behind them, Zafiro and the Gospel Sin. There are the placings, 6, 12, 16, 2. Wicked Hunter first, 12 rounds second, Regal Moon third, Zafiro fourth. Half a length a short head of the margins in 1:11.44. And they did fly along, 1:11.44. The winner, Dew Sasso, Lizzie Longlegs Gelding. Fourth win from 27. And back into a class of race that suited today for owners GJ, Mrs. K. Edwards, J, Mrs. C.D. Hardwick, G, and Mrs. J.M. Hunter from the yard of Neville Parnham. Stephen Parnham there aboard the winner. 12 rounds, second in by not a single doubt from Linear. A gelding 4 years, trained by Chris Gangemi, ridden by Clint Johnston Porter. Very nearly adding another win to his CV today. And Regal Moon by Testarossa out of Moonbound, a 3-year-old filly, trained by Grant and Alana Williams, and Chris Parnham there in the saddle. So that winner paid $9.50 and $2.90. 12 rounds, $2.80, and Regal Moon, $1.80. 35.42, the last 600, a half a short head being the margins. The Gospel Sin 5th in, Rotana Beach ran 6th. Race 7, the Crown Towers handicap over 1,600 metres at 4:30 with a capacity lineup. It's a full book, 16 to run in the next. I went with the 10 in Thunderboom. I thought this filly did look one of the specials for the day to beat Checkers, number 5, and then 4 Blitz'em Someday. Maybe won the Blue Nipper, 10, 5, 4 and 1. Okay, let's go back down there to the winners' enclosure. And now Adam with winning trainer Neville Parnham after the little drought had been broken by the winner here in Wicked Hunter.
Neville, you spoke to us prior to the race and everything you hoped was going to happen did exactly that. Plenty of speed through the early stages, Stephen able to sit forward and then get out the top of the straight. It was a brilliant ride. Yeah, it certainly helped his chances by the speed being as hot as it was, and it just made it a bit difficult for my other runner. She was sort of off the pace a little bit and having to come around him, whereas as they spun around the corner there was a bit of a gap and Steve took advantage of that and was lucky to have held on. He just got that little bit of a break on him. I thought it was pretty impressive the way this horse was able to adapt as well. We have seen that it can sit close like he did today, but normally gets back and runs on strongly. So to still sit close with the hot speed that was on and show that late turn of foot was really impressive. Yeah, look, he can race on the speed. Sometimes when he's gone back it's due to barriers, and he has been able to sort of storm home from the back of the field as well. So, yeah, right in the right class. He's certainly, very competitive. He hasn't won in a while, but he's still run some very good races in recent times. And I still think he's able to win a one Metro win race on a Saturday. So, yeah, I think there's more wins in store. Yeah, from that performance, definitely still looks a Saturday type, even the form lines around Dane Finn, which we saw holding up again on the weekend. Now, the next race, it's always exciting when you've got 3 horses and you've got the 3 sons on board. Yes, we have trifected once before, but
In the next race, yeah, I think they all got some sort of a chance, you know. Just looking at the way racing's going at the moment with that race and a couple of the other races, I thought George Nerney could improve today, but he's just, he might find it a bit tougher, whereas a horse like Checkers is going to take up a more forward role, and the Blue Nipper generally runs on pace, so they might be the two favoured horses. Does appear to be a little bit difficult to come from right off the pace, and he's drawn very wide, George, so yeah, not a lot between the whole three of them, but Checkers' run the other day was really good. Drops back in grade, and I think he'll be more suited at the 1600.
Well, best of luck in the next. It's always great to see the three boys riding for you. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
There's Neville Parnham, trainer of Wicked Hunter. We'll grab Stephen Parnham now. And Stephen, you used that barrier absolutely perfectly today. There was a lot of speed, and then you just need a little bit of luck late.
Yeah, that's right. He ended up having a great run throughout. The leader set a good speed, but it actually kicked on the corner, which gave me a good track through, and I was able to get outside his heels and gun him down late.
We spoke to your dad prior to the race. He mentioned that Regal Moon was obviously the concern, and when you got barrier 1, barrier 12, I guess you just had to hope you had a big enough gap, and that was the case.
Yeah, barrier 1 can always be a little bit tricky trying to get runs off the fence sometimes, but it panned out really well for us. I was able to, like I said, follow the leader through, and you know, I'm assuming the back markers had a bit to chase us down with, and no, he ran good. He dropped in class from his last couple of runs, and he hasn't been disappointing. He's been pretty close, and he showed that he was good enough today. In the next, mate, you've got Checkers. You've been riding George and Ernie as well. You've elected to go that way. Really good performance last start behind Maginica. We've seen those form lines hold up even from Maginica's trial. Divine Calling coming out and winning as well. It's a nice performance last start, and even though Thunderboom's in the race, you have to give yourself a serious chance. Yeah, that's what I think. He was a very good run the other day. I felt like he probably just needed it again. He was trying, but probably just peaking on his effort too, but beaten by a good horse. So there's nothing wrong with his form going into today's run. And whilst there is one there that is coming through the grades pretty good, he's definitely a live chance. Congratulations on the win, mate. Best of luck in the next. Thank you. There's Stephen Parnham, jockey aboard of Wicked Hunter, which has broken a 424-day drought.